Hello everyone, this is Metal444, and this is going to be my review on The Flash, Season 2, Episode 18, also entitled Versus Zoom. And this episode was a very good episode. It answered quite a lot of the questions that we had to do with Zoom and all of that stuff, so like who Zoom was and how Jay Garrick existed. So without further ado, let's get into my full review. So the episode picks up where Supergirl left off. So we actually finally got the link in with the Supergirl episode. Barry was running really fast and he switched between the two dimensions for 4 seconds or something, and you got that sudden realization on his face and he's like, how long have I been gone? And they're like, oh, you've been gone 4 seconds, and he realizes that in this timeline he hasn't actually gone anywhere. He was still running at the time. So I would have liked to see Barry talk about his experience with Supergirl a little bit. They didn't touch on it at all, which I felt was a little bit underused. He could have said something like, "Oh, I met Supergirl," and that'd be it, like a couple of seconds of that, and then that'd be done. But you know that didn't really matter. Now we also got the story of Jay Garrick or Hunter Zolomon, and now we saw him go downstairs, and we saw him see his mother get killed by his father. Now this is obviously his sort of start on his rise to power, I guess you can say, or his rise to being a psycho murderer. Now this is actually very similar to the origin of Cobalt Blue or the Twin, and that's quite of Barry Allen, and that's what a lot of people were expecting. But later in the episode, Hunter Zolomon, or Zoom, revealed that he actually found a previous version of himself and used that to create the image of Jay Garrick, which was quite an interesting way to do it. I was a bit confused at the time, because surely if he killed his past self, he would have died in present time, but he might have got a future version of himself. I'm not sure, but that doesn't really matter. I'll skip over that. Now, the episode was good the whole way through. It was a bit of a slow start, Didn't really introduce Zoom into the picture until quite late. Cisco, his mental breakdown was quite understandable, because realizing that you suddenly got this power, you sort of go into that state where you think, oh no, what have I become bad? But I felt they didn't stick too long on that and quickly resolved the problem, and then got on to what was most important, and that was defeating Zoom, essentially. Now, one of the main parts of the episode was the abduction of Wally West, which was a quite a good way to sort of introduce him into the whole Flash picture, because now he has seen that his family is working with the Flash, and that the Flash is willing to give up his speed for him, which means that is something that really shows. And Wally might not be like so much of a bad guy anymore, because he's been a bit whiny, a bit moany for the first few episodes, and he's been really harsh on Barry. So maybe now, knowing that Barry has given up his speed to save his life, that'll help increase his character, become more likable, and then maybe we will see Kid Flash in the future, maybe, which would be great to see, of course. Now, in regards to Harry in this episode, Harrison Wells, he was very against the whole thing because of obviously his daughter. But then the sit down that he had with Joe really kind of convinced him, and that was a great sort of scene where you can just see the two actors working with each other, and it's great to see them being pitched against each other, and sort of you really get a show of the great acting in the show. And yeah, so Harry's resolution to help and actually help open the breaches is great. It was a really good point in the episode. Yeah, and as per usual in the Flash, they left the episode on a cliffhanger, with Caitlin being taken now by Zoom as a sort of a personal dig, because of the sort of relationship that Jay and Zoom had. Jay and Caitlin had. And this is probably going to lead to the Metahuman army marching on Central City that is coming in the next few episodes, which will include some of the main Metahuman villains from the other Earth, which is going to be quite cool to see, because that's going to be sort of the big penultimate fight. You're going to have to see how that turns out. And also, Barry has no longer got his speed, so maybe these episodes are going to be much more based on Cisco and how his power is going to help them defeat Zoom and stuff like that. And it's really going to be interesting to see how the show goes without having the Flash on the Flash, essentially. But I'm sure they'll find a way to get his speed back, maybe by creating, I don't know, Velocity 10, something like that. But, you know, overall, episode was great. And, yeah, I really can't wait to see the next one. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you next time.